Welcome to this morning's Walk of Fame ceremony. I'm Laurent Gubler, President and CEO of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, which is presenting today's program. I want to give a special shout out to our fans who are watching the live video stream, courtesy of our media partner, Variety. Well, today we are honoring actress Keri Russell, and she will be receiving the 613th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Let me tell you a little bit about Keri, and feel free to cheer for whatever you'd like. A native of Fountain Valley, California, Keri, there must be somebody from, a few Angelinos here. Keri has starred in major motion pictures, independent films, and television shows, and is a familiar face to audiences worldwide. She can currently be seen on the critically acclaimed, Emmy-nominated, and Peabody Award-winning FX series, The Americans. Now, as we all know, that is the story of two KGB officers posing as an American couple living in Washington, D.C. during the Cold War era. Now, for the show, Keri has received 4 Critics' Choice Award nominations for Best Actress in a Drama Series, and 1 Emmy nomination for Lead Actress in a Drama Series. Keri first garnered attention, though, when she starred in the title role for the hit television series Felicity from J.J. Abrams. And just 4 months after the show's acclaimed premiere on the WB, she was honored with a Golden Globe Award for Best Performance by an Actress in a Drama Series. How's about that after 4 months? Some of her other television credits include the miniseries Into the West, executive produced by Steven Spielberg, the Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation, The Magic of Ordinary Days, Running Wild with Will Arnett, and the all-new Mickey Mouse Club. All right. On the big screen, Keri starred alongside another Walk of Famer, Matthew McConaughey, in The Free State of Jones. And prior to that, she was seen in the hit summer film Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which reunited her with director Matt Reeves, who created Felicity with J.J. Abrams. Keri's other film credits include, and there's too many to mention all of them, so I've just selected a few. Feel free to cheer for your favorites. They include Austenland, Dark Skies, August Rush, The Girl in the Park, Mission Impossible 3, The Upside of Anger, We Were Soldiers, 8 Days a Week, Leaves of Grass, Bedtime Stories with Adam Sandler, Extraordinary Measures with Harrison Ford, and of course the romantic film Waitress, for which she received rave reviews. In 2005, she made her off-Broadway stage debut in Neil LaBute's play Fat Pig, opposite Jeremy Piven. And now, please help me welcome to the stage our honoree, Keri Russell. Now, before you get to hear from Keri, we have a few guest speakers who've asked to say a few words on her behalf. Our first speaker is a writer, executive producer, showrunner on FX's critically acclaimed series, The Americans. Prior to that show, he served as a writer, executive producer on the first 2 seasons of TNT's hit television show, Rizzoli and Isles. He also served as a writer, executive producer on ABC's Golden Globe winning series, Ugly Betty, and on the FX series, Dirt. Please welcome Joel Fields to the stage.
I'm going to keep it under 45 minutes. Okay, well.
I love that I'm so close so I can say, like, that's actually not true.
That's true. That's true. Also, we've trained you to kill.
Yeah, that's true. This is good.
So when The Americans was being cast, one thing was clear. The show could only work if it had the right star. you had to believe that underneath her cover, Elizabeth Jennings is a cold-blooded killer who'd break your bones and stuff you in a suitcase. So clearly, we needed Keri Russell.
Yeah.
Keri is intense, funny, and a brilliant artist. How hard does she work? She was literally willing to dig a hole in the cold, dark ground in the middle of the night for an extra 2 hours just 2 months after giving birth to her third child. One night on location, when Keri was 7.5 months pregnant, she was waiting for a new setup on a scene. Now, normally, an actor would go back to her trailer, have some tea, and groom her Shih Tzu. But Keri, not wanting to cost the production the 20 minutes of travel time back and forth, just curled up on this little lawn in front of a dilapidated building in downtown Brooklyn and went to sleep. Someone from props threw a blanket on her, and half an hour later she popped up and did her scene as brilliantly and beautifully as always. Keri manages to focus single-mindedly on her performance without ever losing track of the welfare of her colleagues. We had a chilling scene in season 4 where she had to scream at Holly Taylor, teenage actress who plays her daughter. By the way, in her intensity, a vein stuck out under Keri's eye during that scene. Now, what actor doesn't want that vein CGI'd out? But Keri, being Keri, loved it. She said that's how people look when they get angry. Anyway, there's Keri as Elizabeth tearing into Holly as her daughter, but every time the director said cut, Keri immediately snaps out of character and rushes up to Holly to make sure she's okay, apologizing profusely. It went on like this for hours. The fictional mom was terrifying, but Keri was warm and gracious and supportive through it all. And honestly, that warmth comes out in the character to give it depth and great humanity. And bringing humanity to Elizabeth Jennings is no easy feat, but this is a woman who dropped a car on a guy's face. I could tell you endless stories of Keri's generosity of spirit, her hard work, her inspired artistic choices, and her seemingly effortless acting, which in truth is not effortless at all, but the result of incredibly specific preparation. Keri rehearses scenes far in advance, well before they shoot, and sometimes calls or emails with subtle tonal questions that make clear she's shaping every nuance of every moment. Here's some actual scene description from our show to give you a sense of how much trust we have come to put in Keri Russell. Elizabeth takes that in. Elizabeth thinks. She looks at him a moment. And what moments you give us, Keri Russell. You deliver one of the greatest performances on television, and as you do, you make us all appreciate you as a person and respect you more and more as an artist. Keri, we're lucky to have you as our star, and we're thrilled to share you with the Walk of Fame. Congratulations. We love you.
Thank you, Joel. Let me do a few acknowledgments at this time. First of all, let's acknowledge the chairman of the board of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, Jeff Zaranam, the owner of the Hollywood Hotel. In addition, we have a few of Keri's co-stars. From Felicity, we have Scott Speedman. And cast members of The Americans, we have Noah Emmerich, Matthew Reese, and Holly Taylor. Thank you for joining us today. Well, our next speakers will be coming to the stage together, so let me introduce them. First, we have Matt Reeves, who came to feature film prominence in 2008 as the director of the acclaimed science fiction horror hit Cloverfield. Other films include Let Me In and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, in which Keri starred. He will return to the Apes franchise with War for the Planet of the Apes to be released this coming July. Earlier in his career, he co-created the popular television series Felicity, starring our honoree. He served as executive producer with partner J.J. Abrams. And speaking of J.J. Abrams, he is a writer, director, producer, and the founder of Bad Robot Productions. Over a career spanning 3 decades, he has worked on films and television programs such as Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Super 8, Westworld, Lost, Alias, and the Star Trek, Mission Impossible, and Cloverfield franchises, and of course, Felicity. Please welcome to the stage Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams.
Who knew we were going to talk together?
I'm so glad you're here.
Thank God.
Yeah, we do the same thing. Go ahead.
What do you want to say?
No, you go for it.
So here's the thing. When we were doing Felicity together, which is so many years ago, we made a pact to each other that we would not, just as Joel did, that we would not do the show really unless we found the perfect Felicity. And we were really trying to find somebody who could bring humor, but also great depth of emotion. And in fact, there were the writers on the show had put up a picture of the two of us from a restaurant, and they put little thought balloons over their heads. And JJ said, "Make sure it's funny," and mine was, "Make sure it's emotional." And JJ met Keri first because I was off doing a pilot, and he was like, "She's so good, you won't believe it. She's the one we've been looking for." And I was skeptical. I was like, "Oh, okay, so she could be funny. I know what that is, right? She could be emotional." And then I met her, and she was so incredible. And on day one, when we were, it was weird. It's like they gave us a show. I'm like, "Why are you giving us a show?" We were like, it was ridiculous. And I sat down, and we set up the first shot, and it was Keri just sitting on a bench outside of a counselor's office, and she was taking in the fact that she had made a terrible mistake in coming to New York. Her parents were very upset with her. And it was one shot. And we turned the camera on, and afterwards the AD came up to me and he goes, "Oh, this show's going to be special." And it was special, and the reason it was special was because of Keri. Keri's just an incredibly emotional, beautiful performer, and one who I think, when you think of stars and horns, you think of people who take you on a journey. And, the reason that I was unsure about Keri for the role was because the role was a bit of a wallflower. And Keri's so beautiful, and she's a dancer, and she has such confidence. But when she opened herself up, you could see that she struggled, and you could relate to her in the most beautiful way. And that's what a star can do. They can take you to this place where on the one place they sort of inspire you. You look at them and you go, "My God, look at that person." And then they turn you into them. And you go through, movies and TV, the best thing they do is they make you the characters you watch. They extend your empathy. And that's what Keri does. She's a true artist. And I felt like making that show with her and knowing her and working with her since, watching her grow up. I love you, Keri.
That's not how I remember it. No, that's not true. Everything Matt just said. I don't care if there are 3,215 other stars. There's never been one placed representing someone with a bigger heart or more talent. I know Keri over many years. I know how social she isn't. I can't tell you how much she hates this. Not really. She doesn't hate this. She's honored. But what Keri wants to say is, no, I'm kidding. I'm not speaking for Keri. But, Keri, shut up for a second. But this is getting attention like this, despite being a member of the Screen Actors Guild. Getting attention is not her strong suit. What she does so beautifully is become other people. And she does it in a way that most actors would only dream of being able to do. And I know it's true for the other people who are here today who worked on Felicity, including Scott Speedman, Amanda Foreman, Matt, and myself. We just were in a state of awe, really, what Keri was capable of. And she wouldn't just make you cry when you would watch the show. You'd watch dailies, and she'd make you cry. She was so honest and so beautifully real. And she is one of the sweetest people, one of the most wonderful friends, mothers, co-workers that you could ever hope to know. So it is an honor for all of us who know and love Keri to support the 3,216th star in honor of our dear friend, Miss Keri Russell.
Thank you, Matt and JJ. And just for the record, it's 2,613. All right. Okay, let me also acknowledge the Hollywood division of the LAPD Captain Corey Polka, who I saw come in back there. He's the tall one back here. We're always delighted to have our police here who do such a great job. So the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce administers the Walk of Fame on behalf of the city of Los Angeles. And we have a beautiful resolution, Keri. So come on up front here. A beautiful resolution on behalf of the city of LA, signed by the mayor, the president of the city council, and this was passed by the entire city council. They seldom agree on anything, but they agreed on this today to give you this resolution. So on behalf of the city, congratulations.
Thank
Why
you.
don't you stand over here
Okay.
so they can take a photo?
Oh, sure. Yes. Where do I go?
Just right
here?
there.
Okay.
And
Okay.
look right there. Oh, they want another photo? Okay, well, it's time to hear from you. Let me just say, on behalf of the Chamber, we hereby declare this Keri Russell Day in Hollywood.
Ah, yeah. This is so nice of you. Thank you so much. This is obviously such an honor and such an incredible thing to be here. And I have to admit, when I first heard about this, I was a little surprised and confused, because when I think of Hollywood star, I sort of think of these really iconic people like, Judy Garland or Johnny Carson, and I thought, do they know something that I don't know? Like, am I about to die, or is it over? Like, is this it for my career? Like, at the twilight of my career, like, you've done, that college kid, the Russian spy, and now it's done. Here's your star, and make room for other people. But they assured me that no. But thank you so much for speaking, everyone, and coming. And I guess I mostly want to say, other than what an incredible honor this is, when I was younger, I think I was 7 or 8, one of the very first video cameras I ever saw that recorded, picture was a friend of my grandparents, and he had this video camera, and he sat all the kids down, my brother and my sister, and he wanted to do like a little interview with all of us. And he sat us down and said, state your name, age, and what you want to be when you grow up. And he had said to me, do you want to be an actress? And rewatching the video years later, I say, no, I don't. And I said, what I want to do is travel around the world and take pictures. And I feel like that's what I get to do in some way. I get to travel the world and see these things I have never seen and meet incredible people and live this wild adventure that this career affords. And I'm very thankful for it. So thank you so much. Thank you.
So let's unveil the star, and we'll ask each of our speakers if they would join us for the unveiling.